G'day viewers, and thank you for joining us. This week we're back on private property exploring how you can get the most out of your four-wheel drive. I've brought a bunch of mates along, so let's go and explore this beautiful piece of earth. Morning Jake, how are you mate?
I am very, very good, Simon. It has been a while. It is excellent to see you and everyone else.
Thank you so much for inviting us out here.
This is actually a family property. There is 1,700 acres, and of that there's about 80 odd acres of vineyard. There's about 400 head of cattle here. That's not accounting for the calves, but a magnificent property, and very, very fortunate that we can come up here and enjoy it.
I'd like to welcome Matt Ingram along as well. We've got two Narva cars today.
Thanks Simon, thanks Jake. Appreciate the invite.
This has never happened before. Very, very exciting. We've got the PX1 2014 Narva 2 Ranger, and we've got the newer Raptor, and we're going to put them to the test and see how they go.
Mate, what have you had done to the Ranger since?
I've done a whole lot more to it. We've added our new Explorer light bar on the front, but otherwise it's still the same old trusty Ranger that's always been with us.
Now our day-to-day is pretty unusual because we haven't got anything specifically planned like a destination, but what we have is a bit of a tour of the property, so I'm really looking forward to getting a little zook out there.
And Al, you brought a different vehicle along this time.
Well, this is my Vitara. It's highly modified. We've got diff locks, we've got stronger axles, aftermarket suspension, body lift kits, pretty much everything you can imagine you can fit into a Vitara.
I dare say we'll find some areas for you to play in today.
It might even start right now. This is very boggy here.
And Jacqui and Brian, great to have you guys along on the trip.
Yeah, we're absolutely wrapped.
Thanks, Jake. Absolutely awesome property. Really enjoying it. Thank you. Brian's done a fair bit to the vehicle and given it a 4-inch lift kit. We've modified the diff and we've got parabolic springs in it, so we were good to go.
Simon, a little bit of something different behind the mighty Iveco. What is
Getting hauled along behind you.
Yeah mate, I brought the trailer out again. We've got the Pioneer Active Pod with the Boss aluminium rooftop tent. Now whilst we're not allowed to go camping as yet, it's the perfect time to come out with a really sweet piece of kit like this and give it a test run. Now the thing that I like about this is the quick setup time. The gas struts are wrecked, the main part of it. We pull this stretchy cord down, these arms, put them through the corner here first. Nice little eyelet there for it, stand it up, one on each side. And then we've got these tie down straps. Pull that down to tighten it up. And a super luxurious bed, all set up in well under 2 minutes. That is awesome, and this is going to be a serious piece of well-used kit when we're allowed to get back on the road and do some long distance touring.
There's a little bit of a creek crossing.
and then we'll jump up onto this little track, which should provide a fair bit of fun.
Yeah, she's wet underfoot, come through with a little bit of speed, guys.
As soon as we got into the paddocks, we realised how wet it was.
You're first up, Jake. Show us how it's done.
Keep it going, Jake, keep it going.
No, he's stopping.
So that's
Not ideal.
as soon as we're coming down and we hit into the flat section and we did that little creek, coming up and out of that, bang, Raptor bog.
And we didn't get stuck a little bit, we got stuck a lot.
All right, Jake, I'm coming up.
Simon's come through with the Iveco with the trailer on the back, got probably 20, 30 metres ahead of him, bogged. So all of a sudden we knew that we were in a little bit of trouble.
That's about as far as we're going to go. Far out. That is wet. About 10 metres from where I'm standing, there's a gate which leads to the mud section that we wanted to do.
Yeah, that's right, that was the plan. This wasn't quite what we were expecting.
I think what we're going to do to rescue you and me,
Yeah.
bring the heavy vehicle, the Land Cruiser through, we'll get it up the hill on the far side there, but we've got to reverse recover these vehicles.
Yeah.
Somehow turn them around and get them back out of here. Let's get this done nice and quick. We'll get some gloves on and get to work, eh?
Yeah, beauty, let's do it.
You've got a ball coming your way, just as an FYI.
All right, Jacqui, bring it on through.
Good to go.
With two cars stuck and both needing to be recovered in the reverse, we thought the easiest thing to do was to bring the heaviest vehicle we've got, the 360 Land Cruiser, back into a drier section behind us and then set up a recovery using the winches.
Normally 360, everyone's winching us out, but we came to the rescue. The way Simon had it lined up is we moved Jake out a bit because Simon had gone in front of Jake. You'll see the footage, so you don't really need me to explain it.
I'm thinking I might even get Jake's winch out and hook it up to me.
Yeah,
See how we go with that.
sounds good.
So hold it there for a sec.
Okay.
Now, we could have winched each vehicle individually, but because the tow vehicle had a fair bit of traction where it was set up, we were able to utilise two winches.
If I had my winch to the back of Simon's trailer, and he had not had a recovery hitch on the back of his trailer, we would be having to somehow get that off the back of it and manhandle that out, probably have to winch that out the way somehow. And then the back of mine, we had 360 gearboxes with a big 79. They had their winch on the back of mine. Matty Ingram from Narva jumped in while Simon was directing and given the old in and out with a winch and safe and whatnot.
Where's Danny when you need him? He's normally the first guy in the mud. Everyone ready to go?
Ready? Ready.
But obviously when you're in farm mud, full of cattle poo and everything else, it's really sticky, really horrible stuff.
Lots of manoeuvres back and forth, you know, when someone would lose traction or someone would gain traction, we'd have to stop, adjust winch ropes, adjust distances between cars and things like that.
Matt Ingram in reverse.
They're rooting for you, Jake.
I can feel it, to be honest. Actually, it's highly motivating. Eventually got it all out, just inching our way back.
So for a pretty tricky recovery situation where we had two vehicles dead bogged, we actually got out of there quite quickly. How was that, Al?
That was awesome. That was a brilliant recovery.
Sorry you missed out on the action.
Yeah, but I think I might have found a really cool spot to play, just over the edge there.
Here on the bank?
Yeah, Suzuki friendly maybe.
Let's have a look.
Now, as you know, I also have a farm, but my farm is like that small compared to this. Mine's 130 acres, this is 1,700 acres, but it doesn't really matter. Mine's still way too big to walk around. I'm not fit enough or young enough for that, so I use my Suzukis to get around my farm. Why are Suzukis so good for farms? I can carry 400 kilos in the back with water for spraying and watering trees or killing weeds. I can put firewood in the back, fencing tools. I have a heater. Now, don't underestimate a heater when it's 2 degrees up at Mansfield. It's a great thing to have in your car. The other thing, I guess, is with a Suzuki, it is a very safe package. It has seat belts and all the right restraint things you need, unlike quaddie bikes. And when I do tip it over, which doesn't happen all that very often, it goes clunk on its side, I can put it back up again and continue driving. I'm not hurt. And you can pick them up really, really cheaply. For under 10 grand, you can have a Suzuki on your farm, which will do a great job for you. Not many quaddie bikes can you buy for that sort of money, eh, guys?
We can go towards the valley.
So why don't we go down to that clearing,
Yeah, that's on the way.
lunch,
Yep,
in the shade?
yep,
And that's a bit more picturesque.
yep,
And then we can do the hill climb, come back and do the tree clearing.
yep, let's do it.
Sounds like a plan?
Yeah, that sounds
Sounds
good.
awesome.
Good plan.
Here we are in this magnificent valley. As you can see around me, there's blue sky, rolling hills as far as the eye can see. This is all private property. There's a creek down over here, row of trees up the back.
The vineyard's off to our right, rolling hills off to our left, and with a beautiful blue sky, the scenery was absolutely magic today.
Beautiful drive. Brings back a bit of memories. I grew up on a farm. The smell and watching where you walk is really important. Really lovely to get out and hear the birds and smell the fresh air. A bit different to what us poor Victorians have had to go through lately.
This is God's own country. It is absolutely beautiful. Can't find anything better than Victoria and the high country. This is at its absolute best. Pity it's private property, but we're lucky we can come to play here.
Often you think of big properties, they're just open paddock, you might work your way through, but this has actually got little arterial roads that go through everywhere.
Amazing cars in front of us that are doing their thing, and then you've got beautiful views on either side of you. I mean, what more can you want?
We can't even get ourselves to a nice shady lunch spot without getting bogged. Here we are, the 5th, 6th, 7th time, winching again. Well, we're hooked up, we've got the 360 car around on higher ground.
They went the low side, we went the high side. As you can see, the low side was low.
It's just so good finally to be able to rescue and not be rescued. I think Simon will be glad he invited us on this one.
Jake, great to have a bit of lunch and a rest. Do you reckon you can get us to the top of that hill?
I don't know now, with the luck I've been having.
Taking the lead, but I reckon we'll get up to the top of this one, Simon.
The lookout was just above the lunch spot. It was pretty wet, surprisingly, getting up to the top of it.
Oh, Simon, wait till you get up here. These views, these are worth a stop and take it all in.
Oh yeah, that is spectacular.
The property is truly magnificent. It is a piece of heaven. It's wonderful up here. 1,700 acres of it. And of the 1,700 acres, we've probably seen a very, very small percentage of it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some more of this beautiful country.
I can't believe Jake got us somewhere without us getting stuck.
First time for everything, Simon. There's heaps more to see. There's a quarry up the back. So hopefully we can keep ourselves going. Still have some challenges, but find some adventure.
As Jake's spoken about, there's a quarry. I love quarries. I reckon quarries are awesome. Being able to hit those type of inclines and stuff like that, rocky ground underneath. Some sandy bits, but for the most part you get traction the whole way up.
It's got some great climbs off cambers. The little Suzuki did a surprisingly good job on some of those things. And other people made it successfully. The quarry's a great little play spot.
We have got 2 Narva vehicles here. One's the older one that's a little bit more beat up and has had a little bit of a harder life, and one's our newer Raptor that is a little bit more of a show pony but still gets well and truly into the mix of things. Being that we had the older car here and we put it through its paces a little bit harder than we did with the Raptor.
Yeah boy, nice drive.
This is the car we don't mind scratching.
It's just great fun, you know.
Hey Jacqui, I reckon this might be the perfect testing area for your rear suspension.
I'll give it a good crack, Simon.
Normally our testing's up really, really steep hills. This is a little bit different. It's got enough crevices to see what the clearance is like. We literally finished that car yesterday. She held up really well. Last trip when we drowned ourselves, as soon as we went into the mud we just felt her dig in. It wasn't the tyres, it was just the back end just hung on. Brian just took one look at it and said, look, we just can't keep hanging up like that. So we've gone to parabolic springs, we've got a 4-inch lift kit. The biggest change we've done is increase the clearance of the rear diff by probably about that much. We did that by modifying the spring hangers and it's just got so much more clearance, massive major difference. We have a Towpack Extreme in this. The Extreme is a Towpack, but it's using a 30% stronger gear set. So with the Extreme, confident as ever, Brian can give it everything he can up those hills. I'm a scaredy cat, so there's no secret about that. No. Brian's cool as a cucumber, but I'm hanging on for dear life.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't necessarily enjoy the testing, but I know it's part of what we have to do to bring our products to the market.
You do that just for me, don't you?
Nearly tipped over, but we got through it all right.
I won't do that again.
Don't you?
No.
Everyone really enjoys being able to get out and about. It was a great afternoon.
Well, for something a little bit different, let's go and do some farm work. There's a tree down here on a track. I reckon that we should hit with the chainsaw.
Sounds like a plan, Simon. I'm pretty sure that the farm owners will be wrapped if you start clearing up after them.
It's not a trip unless he gets his chainsaw out.
I haven't heard that one before, Jackie, but okay, we'll go with that.
Of course, Simon's never happy unless he gets his chainsaw out or he uses his muscles to chop a tree down. So, yep, we even help the farmers clear a path.
Like true four-wheel drivers and campers that we are, a fair few of us carry chainsaws with us, so whipped out the chainsaws and we're able to clear the tree. Always good to make sure you've got all your safety equipment when doing chainsaws. Chainsawing can be a serious activity if you're not doing the right thing, so obviously gloves, safety glasses, all those types of things are paramount.
The tree wasn't terribly big, but it was interesting because we had an electric chainsaw, or better still, a battery-powered chainsaw, and a petrol-powered chainsaw. Both did a fantastic job, both were stills, but it really showed how far battery technology's come because this thing really worked well. I'm actually impressed.
This is called a drag chain for very good reason. It's used for dragging. Never use anything that stretches like a snatch strap for dragging stuff like this. Also, if you're dragging things like this with a strap, you're going to damage them anyway. As we come down to the back of the vehicle here, this is not a recovery point. Never ever hook anything onto a tow ball. The hitch is okay, but it's this recovery point here that we want to use. We've got the option of using a shackle, or in this case, a hook fits through. That'll latch on there to the chain. Safe as, nice and gentle, a non-kinetic recovery. The little Suzuki give it a tug, eh? Nice and easy, no binding. That's how easy it is, the right tool for the right job. Pack it away, all good to go.
It was great to be able to help out the farm. They gave us an amazing day, an amazing property, and we were able to give back. Even though it was only a little bit, it was still something to help them out.
After clearing the quarry, we came around back up to this hill up the top here, and this is just lovely, as you can see. It's now about 6:30 at night, it's getting dark, the sun's setting over there, and it has been a wonderful day.
When you're on a property like this, there is no light. There's no street lights, it is pitch black. We brought out these new handheld searchlights. There's two different models that we do. There's this one here. It has a removable battery. Basically, you can recharge the battery. It is completely cordless and they get great spread. A 2500 lumen, 6 really powerful LEDs. And then we've got the one here which is actually corded, so you can plug it in directly to your car. Those ones are actually 4000 lumen. Turn it on and search for whatever it is that you're looking for. Let's get out and about and see if we can get down the tracks with some lights.
It's the time of the day which is Narva's favourite, nighttime. I've got a range of driving lights here. Many, many years ago, they would be like a metal-bodied driving light. They'd have a glass lens. They would have a halogen globe. Then you fast forward all the way to where we are today, we moved to LED. Advantages of LED over halogen and even over HID is that they have instant light generation. There's no warm-up period. There's no filament to break. The output from these lights, you can expect to get upwards of 1,000 metres. Some are going well beyond that. We're also getting a really broad, wide spread. They last upwards of 50,000 hours. We're going to see these tonight as we drive out of here. It is very, very dark, so we'll put on a bit of a show as we get out of here tonight.
What can I say to Jake, but thank you very much for organising this, and Steve, who's the property owner who allowed us to do it. Even more importantly, thank you so much. Yes, there's a few little ruts we left behind, but great memories of a fantastic day out in the bush.
Everything's been awesome. Weren't quite expecting the boggy paddocks. That was a complete surprise. The best thing about it is 360 got them out, so I was really happy about that.
Thank you for joining us on another Life Off-Road adventure. Make sure you follow 4 Wheel Drive TV on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok and YouTube. We'll see you all again next week.